Okay? It is clear that that's who conservatives want in the White House. Okay? That's who they supported. They didn't give a damn about the 34 indictments. They didn't give a damn about 2 impeachments. They didn't give a damn about all the legal issues and the lawfare that the Democrats engaged in. They said, Joe, that's who we want. This is the difference. And I said this to a lot of people, Bill. The conservatives said, we want that guy. That's who we want. And the voters decided who the Republican nominee is going to be. When you look at the Democrats, they didn't do it with Obama. That's true. Okay.
Didn't do what?
They greased the skids. This is the person we want. It's her turn. It was Hillary's turn in 2016.
In this video, Stephen A. Smith doesn't hold back as he joins Bill Maher for a bold, challenging conversation that takes aim at some of Hollywood's most deeply held narratives. Their discussion focuses on how the entertainment industry's strong reaction to Donald Trump may be less about policy and more about ego. Smith argues that many in Hollywood see themselves as moral leaders but often lack real-world understanding. Their fear of Trump, he suggests, stems from the way he reflects their own self-absorption. The real issue, according to Smith, is that Hollywood's outspoken progressive image often masks a self-serving mindset. They don't oppose Trump because he's a danger to democracy. They oppose him because he refuses to conform to their social circle. In a twist of irony, Smith claims the industry helped shape the very persona they now reject. Never one to back away from a tough debate, Smith sets the tone for an intense and thought-provoking exchange.
All right, Biden.
Well, that's not Obama. Obama earned it.
No, that's what I said. He earned it. But in 2016, and I'm not even trying to imply
they voted. Hillary ran in the primaries.
I'm not even trying to imply that she. But remember, they were complaining that Bernie Sanders had some momentum and was compromised by the Democratic Party because they were saying it was Hillary's turn. Bernie
Sanders, I love him, but he's too far left, and he would have been a bigger disaster than Kamala was.
That's fine. But what I'm saying to you is, still in all, Bill, what I would, it's rare that I disagree with you. What I'm saying is, the only thing I will push back on is, that's fine, but that's for the voter to decide.
Right.
And a lot of times the Democratic Party seems as if they've got their claws in the mix. Take Biden, for example. Okay, so, Clyburn helps him get through South Carolina. He ultimately goes to the Democratic nomination. He's the Democratic nominee for the president. He ultimately wins the election. There was supposed to be a red wave in 2022 in the midterms. The Republicans didn't pull that off. And Biden is feeling himself and saying, I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going to. I told y'all I was going to be a transitional president. I told y'all I was going to be a one-term dude. I'm just here as a stopgap to pave the way for the future of the Democratic Party. And then all of a sudden, he in office takes that power.
He was a veritable John the Baptist. Just the guy who goes before.
As the conversation unfolds, Maher and Smith shift focus to the Democratic Party's recent alignment with increasingly progressive ideologies. They agree that while some of these ideas resonate with younger and more liberal voters, the party's embrace of policies seen as extreme or disconnected from everyday concerns is driving away moderates. Smith highlights how Democratic messaging, meant to promote inclusion, can often come across as dismissive or alienating to independents and centrist voters. Maher adds that the party's refusal to reflect on these missteps only deepens the divide. Instead of adjusting course, Democrats often double down on cultural rhetoric that appears symbolic rather than solution-oriented. This, they argue, distances the party from issues that many working-class Americans prioritize, like inflation, crime, and border control. By neglecting these concerns, Democrats risk ceding ground to Republicans who position themselves as more pragmatic and in touch with common-sense priorities.
I'm a huge fan. I watch it every chance I get. I have never...
No, real fans watch it every week. You watch it every chance you get. I'm just fucking with you.
Because I got multiple jobs. But here's the deal, Bill. But I TiVo it. I tell you that, but the DVR it, rather. That's TiVo, DVR.
I'm going to send you a telegram about that.
You told him myself. Here's the deal, man. I have never wanted to be on your show more than I wanted to be on your show when Biden announced that he was going to run for re-election. Because I'm like this, what y'all going to say now? This is some straight bullshit. You got a situation where you won the midterm. You denied, you halted, you warded off the red wave. And you, knowing you're going to be 81 at election time, knowing you're going to be 82 in office, right? It wasn't the midterm. It was when the State of the Union address took place. And I saw these people. Remember, the liberals, so when you call yourself progressives,
Yeah.
oh, so you're looking forward with a dude that's going to be 82 and would leave office when he's 86. Really, y'all? I'm sitting there like, you got to be shitting me. This is what you're talking about? And I'm like, I knew I wasn't voting for Trump. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I was saying to myself, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And then I looked at their bullpen and they had no one. They had no one.
Both Smith and Maher stress that the Democratic Party's heavy focus on progressive stances has real political consequences. Voters in the middle who care deeply about economic stability, personal safety, and everyday affordability often feel unheard. While issues like equity and inclusion are important, Maher warns that prioritizing ideological battles over practical problem-solving creates a growing disconnect. Smith adds that cultural issues, including debates over gender identity or police funding, have been handled in ways that alienate swing voters and working-class communities. These individuals frequently feel their values are being dismissed or labeled unfairly. The challenge, they argue, lies in the Democrats' inability to balance the enthusiasm of their progressive base with the broader electorate's concerns. This imbalance, they believe, has contributed to Republican momentum in recent elections.
Well, not on a charisma level.
Fair. Okay,
Because,
fair enough.
no,
but charisma is what gets you votes, bro.
Absolutely. And I've said it a million times, insanity photographs.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. I mean, it's charismatic. But I have so many things that I must contend here with.
Sure.
One, you're an ageist. There are people who are completely crackling right at 82. So
No, I don't
it's
feel
always
I'm
a
an
case. It's always a case by case basis.
Right, yeah. Nancy
Biden-
Pelosi don't have the problems that Biden have. I'm very supportive of in terms of Nancy Pelosi, in terms of how sharp she is. I'm not.
Well,
I don't believe
I
I'm an
mean,
ageist.
Nancy Pelosi has lost a step in public also, to be perfectly honest. But the job is never what you do in public. The job is done in the Oval Office.
Okay.
All you have to do is I never thought Biden couldn't do the job. The job is actually sitting in the Oval Office making decisions. He's not crazy. He hasn't lost his mind. He's not senile. He just can't do the public part. He never could do it well. And add the age thing, and you're going to get things like, I killed Medicare or whatever the fuck he said. By the way, Trump, no one has been harder on Trump or more against Trump, blah, blah, blah. I don't have to establish my credentials. But he does do things once in a while that either make me genuinely laugh or make me genuinely go, oh, that's good.
Yes.
Like when he said in that debate, he had a moment where he went, I don't know what he said.
Exactly.
And I don't think
right there.
And I don't think he knows
I don't
what he
think he
said.
know what he said. I mean,
it's
we
like,
crack it up.
That's what people love about him.
Yes.
It's like he's crazy, but crazy people don't have the time to.
Maher goes further, pointing out that the excesses of modern political culture, especially when labeled as woke, are pushing even liberals toward conservatism. He believes this trend has helped strengthen figures like Donald Trump, whose appeal lies in rejecting what many see as progressive overreach. Both Maher and Smith critique cancel culture as a harmful byproduct of this trend. They argue that punishing people for minor missteps or differing opinions stifles dialogue and discourages sincere engagement with progressive ideas. This polarizing environment, they suggest, has created a culture where fear of saying the wrong thing replaces open conversation. Their dialogue blends political critique with a deeper reflection on cultural values, ambition, and the future of public discourse. Together, they offer a nuanced examination of how these forces shape American politics and what it means for the country moving forward.